Bo in Knoxville, Tennessee. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And first I want to say thank you. He emailed me to let me know about a frame company, American made frames made in his state of Tennessee, in Nashville, Tennessee. Asked if I would pick up this collection because he wanted me to make one for him, and I cannot thank you enough. I love the fact that I'm carrying American made frames and ones that are so reasonably priced, all of them for under $150. That's keeping jobs in your state, which is keeping jobs in America. All of these are made in the USA. And Bo, I cannot thank you enough. I'm really excited about this new product. Let me show you what you're getting. It is the American Dream. That is the name of the company. This is the model number 21, color 2, which is the wood blue. Well, the blue wood. And you know me, I'm a sucker for anything blue. So this is a great frame. Again, made in Nashville, Tennessee. This is the AD American Dream 021 and the 52 eye size, and of course color 2, which is the blue wood. I believe it comes in a red as well as a black. Great frame with spring hinges. Got a little bit of built-in wrap. It just feels quality made. All for under $150, and it's American made. So let me pop out your original demo lenses that say American Dream. Let me pop those out. I'm going to put the frame into my tracing element and hit start. Little stylus is going to go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic American Dream frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. So that is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting. Let's go ahead and move it on to the next screen. Your pupillary distance is 33, which is the center starting at the bridge of your nose and going outward in each direction. For your right eye, hang on, that's your right eye. It's 33 millimeters this way. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap this plus button one time because it goes up in half millimeter increments. I want to raise this blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Most of the frame sits a little bit below your pupil level, so I want to raise the optical center height up a couple millimeters, so I'm going to vertical decentration up to, when I say up to, I mean 2 millimeters, and that's good. We're going to come down here and get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads plus 50 minus 1 1/4 at 180, plus 50 minus 1 1/4. We're going to spin the fine tune knob to 180, turn the equipment on. We still got to do that. Let me zero the equipment out. There we go. We're good to go. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve, put it in there. Put the power drum on plus 50. Rotate the lens until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Everything looks good, and I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. Let me darken this last one over here. The one below it's a smudge. This is your right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens, which reads plus 50 minus 2 at 10. We're going to spin the fine tune knob to 10, the astigmatic wheel. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. We're still on plus 50. Same power in each eye. Different astigmatism correction. Find the spherical component. Check your astigmatism correction. That looks good. And we'll put 3 dots on that lens. How about that? The smudge is up higher this time. And put an L on there for left. And for those of you who weren't paying attention, let me recap. I love that joke. Okay, the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me the lens is oriented in there perfectly. That orange crosshair, so just like the crosshairs of a scope, we measure vertically and horizontally. And those 3 dots tell me that it's lined up perfectly. I'm going to place that onto the platform. Don't worry, that's the smudge mark, that one underneath, and then I just got a smudge on the platform. Like my little finger? Hello, how are you? Alright, no more finger puppets. Okay, this is the platform that the lens actually sits on for the block, so those are the 3 lines that you see there. I can move those around depending on if these across the the lines at all. So this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got some right here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this onto the first block. Oops, hang on, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Do the same thing now for the second one. And on the back is a silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice today. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet here in the arm. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnets. And this is, your pupil is just above the geometric center of the frame. These other 2 dots tells me that it's lined up in there, so I'm in the crosshairs of a scope. To make your prescription perfect, hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. We're going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. Grab your left lens. Now your pupillary distance for your left lens is also 33. So I don't have to change anything there. The optical center height stays the same. I'm going to line up those 3 dots. And this one right here, the optical center, is going to sit directly in front of your pupil. Hit that button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your own kitchen counter, and then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this guy anymore to tell you bad jokes. But the actual cutting wheel is this heavy grit diamond wheel that's going to grind your lens material down to the final size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens, so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So I'm going to wake up the computer. That is the shape that we'll be cutting today. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stick with polycarbonate. I'm not going to polish the edge of your lens because it won't be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of your lens because it's not going to protrude out of the frame. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of your lens. Oop, I got to put the lens in before I hit start. So now the magnet is going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to something, another magnet here in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Yep, same bad jokes. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens, or that will fit into the frame. And the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. The cutting wheel is starting. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Water will spray onto the cutting wheel for the lens and the cutting wheel for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris that you may see beginning to form around the edge of the lenses. Now your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. These are high impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lenses that our U.S. soldiers wear overseas to protect their eyewear, their eyes. And it also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now if you notice, your lens is completely flat, just like a nickel. I could take it out of the machine now, it would stand up on its edge. But it's about to go into the bevel wheel to cut the groove into it, the knife-like edge. Very dull knife like myself, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. Your lens will be so sharp that when we're done, you might be able to cut through a piece of wet tissue, providing you soak the tissue in water overnight. Then use your lens, you might be able to cut through it. Now, you also have the anti-glare coating, which is 3 features in one: anti-glare Reduces glare when driving at night, especially driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights and such. It also goes by the initials ARC, which stands for anti-reflective coating. So it reduces reflections as well. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. It makes for a much better eye contact. Plus, if you take a selfie or if someone else takes a picture with a flash, you don't see the flash lit up in your lens. It makes for much better eye contact. The other nice thing about your lenses are they are aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens, aspheric means it's much flatter. A spherical lens is round in every direction and gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance, which nobody likes. So it's designed to fit in today's flatter curvature frames. Aspheric lenses, that is. Now I'm going to open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but I can do it. I saw it in a cartoon once, so I'm pretty sure I can do it. So I dry the lens off, make sure there's no more swarf around the edge of your lens. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, press down at the nose. It does not go in yet. I do not want to force it in the frame, so I'm going to take another 1/10 of a millimeter off, going around. So that is 1/10 of a millimeter going around the circumference of the lens until it snaps in there easily. I'm going to hit retouch. I do not want to force the lens into the frame. It could cause it to stretch, or we in the industry called roll. If the lens were if you can imagine the bottom of your frame being like a gutter, if the lens were too large, it would force the bottom of the frame to roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of your frame. So we don't want that. I cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide. So you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. Now, the third feature that I like about this lens is that it comes with the industry's hardest scratch coating, because the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs several $1 million, and it takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch protection on there to protect your time and investment. Now here's a few more frames I'm going to try and get through. You know me, I love anything blue. This is model number 019. I may have to get this one myself. I love how blue this one is. Now, being in Knoxville, he told me he wanted an orange cloth because that's his team colors. I wear a lot of blue. That's my team color. So I love this frame. Hang on, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let me tuck this back in there. We'll get to all of them. Dry the lens off. Make sure there's no debris on there. Tuck the lens into the outside corner, push it down. Now it snaps in there easily. We can go ahead and start cutting the left lens. I'm going to flip that over to L. Put the lens into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckster. Hit the green arrow, which is start. Just like before, the lens is going to be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's tracing that out. And of course, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of thickness showing, of which you have no edge thickness whatsoever with your prescription in this frame. That's why I use the thinner, lighter weight lenses. We can go ahead and continue working on the right lens. We're going to take this block off, put the block back in there, continue with my artwork. We're going to stick that one on top. And we're going to come down here and we're going to place it into my lensometer just above that black dot. With your prescription, we need to turn the axis wheel to 0, which is also 180. We're going to read the power, and I'm getting plus 50. We're exactly halfway between 0 and 1. Now you are farsighted with your glasses off. Everything is much too small. That is why there is a plus sign. Your lens is magnified 2 steps. You're on the 2nd rung of the ladder. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0 and going up in quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. So you need 2 steps of nearsighted correction. Now once everything is the correct size, you have 5 steps of astigmatism correction. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. Everyone freaks out when they hear that word. It just means you have rough edges. I mean, fuzzy edges. So once everything is the right size, we take away those fuzzy edges, and we're going to spin that wheel to -1 and, well, turn it 1 1/4 backwards, and we end up at -75, 1 tick mark away from the red 1. We started off at the black 50, plus 50, 50's in the black, and when we turn it 1 1/4 steps, we end up at -75. That's because if you had 50 cents and you owed someone $1.25, you would be 75 cents in the red. That's where we're at, 0.75 in the red. Now your left eye reads plus 50 minus 2, so we're going to end up at -150 for that. Now, as I mentioned, a straight line is 0 to 180, so starting, the cap is at 0, 90 in the center, 180. We're going to turn that fine tune knob to 180. Actually, we can stay right there because it's the same number. Now for your left eye, we're just going to turn that to 10. Now the first two numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. It just tells us where to find the correction. These are real values, real powers. So let's see if we can sneak a few more of these in. Now we have the aluminum collection, which is really nice, hypoallergenic. This will never tarnish, never irritate your skin. This is the model 17 in color 11, which is black and gunmetal. Super lightweight. That's the other nice thing about aluminum. Very nice spring hinge design. Look at that. How unique is that? That is an American engineer that designed that. Hats off to him. Very lightweight frame, very strong. Again, has the hypoallergenic properties of titanium, as well as being very lightweight, very strong. But under that titanium price, we're at, again, this one will sell for $149 also. The entire collection is at $149. Let me slip this back on there. We're going to get through them all. We're going to get through them all. Let me take that left lens out. Dry everything off. Hopefully everything's in focus. Let's find your frame. We're going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Pressing down with the thumb, that goes in. Let's go ahead and take the block off. The right lens always takes the longest. Once you get the size right, you just flip it over and cut the left. Stick that on there, create my masterpiece. We're going to come back down here. Let's clean up a little bit as we go, shall we? I'm going to need that space in just a moment. We're going to spin that fine tune wheel, the astigmatic wheel, to 10. Hello, 10. Yo, man, your left eye's a 10. We're going to read the power, and we're getting plus 50 again, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. We're going to minus 2 diopters from that, and we end up at -150, exactly halfway between 1 and 2. So that is cut perfectly. I couldn't have done any better if I'd cut these lenses myself. So this is the point in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that there's free shipping anywhere in the US. And last, hang on, before I clean everything off, your pupillary distance is 33 for your right eye, 33 for your left, for a total of 66. I'm going to turn this card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 66. So that is cut perfectly. And of course, my PD stick from US Optical, fastest lab in America. Use American-made lenses for American-made frames. You just can't beat that. But as I was mentioning, when you get these in the mail and free shipping anywhere in the US, and last time I checked, Knoxville was still in the US. Now I had a great weekend in Chattanooga. I went there for a wedding. That's an awesome town. I've yet to have the pleasure of going to Knoxville. Just want to clean your lenses off. Now, of course, I'm going to provide you with one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths, and not only instructions on how to care for your frame and lenses, but also for your case and your cleaning cloth, so those two will last you for years. So when you get this in the mail and you see that wrinkle in there, you know this cloth works. Because you don't want me to use my cloth, do you? When I can use yours. But, so, I'm going to get these, hang on, let me back up. 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. But when you do get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments. So just stop in your local place there in Knoxville where you had your exam and just tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. So 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80% where when I take mine off, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Ray-Ban 2132 New Wayfarer sunglasses, where I took the dark lenses out and put my prescription lenses in there. This is model number 2132, color 6053, blue crystal, so I can always be matching with my blue crystal. But I am now going to have to get a frame from this company so I can rock this every day. I love that one. I still don't know if to do that one or this one. I've got to find out. Now, I wear a progressive lens in here, the invisible bifocal. There's not a single frame I cannot put a progressive lens in. Don't let people out there tell you that a lens is not big enough for progressive. I can order lenses from any manufacturer. Lens technology has come a long way. I have twice as much room, 3 times as much room as I need to put a progressive lens in here. So, but let me continue to flip this over, press down, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly and that neither temple is askew. But being made in America, these are not shipped in the belly of a tanker from China, so you don't have to worry about the temperature disruption that can cause frames to warp. These are very well made frames. You will never have a problem with these frames. Of course, I stand behind everything I sell too, so because life does happen. It's usually someone sleeping on them, stepping on them, driving over them. I've seen it all. In 1 week, usually dogs get blamed for everything. Every once in a while it's a cat, but in 1 week I had a rabbit. And what else was there? Maybe it was a cat. Or no, a squirrel. A rabbit and a squirrel in 1 week from 2 different people. They have the pet rabbit and the pet squirrel. And it chewed through the case and then chewed into the glasses. Now, that's not covered by manufacturer's defect, but normal wear and tear is. So, let's see. Let's get to some of these. The classic Clubmaster look. Again, American-made frame. This is the model number 2. Now, I'm slowly but surely, I'm going to get all of these on my website. I just do not have any of them up there yet, but I'm working on it. Has that classic shark fin temple, great styling. Semi-rimless frame, black and gunmetal. Because most men's accessories, I know I'm not wearing my watch. It broke. I've got another one on order and it's coming in, but it's black and platinum. This would match perfectly. This is the semi-rimless version. This is the full metal version. This is a 20-pound monofilament like fishing string holding the lens in there. And then I have the rectangular version of those if you do not want the rounder version with more modern rectangular features. This is the model number 10010. Everything is in 3 digits from them. Hopefully I'm not missing any of this. Let me move the camera so you guys can see a little bit more. Again, the Clubmaster, the more rectangular modern version of the Clubmaster, same colors, the black and the gunmetal. All of these sell for $149. This is the model number 010 in color 3. It's on this temple this time. And again, this is a great one. Let's see, we've got it in a, what color is this one? Oh, jet black they call it. Oh, this is the semi-rimless. It is not a two-tone. It is all black. Well, I take it back. This is more of a charcoal gunmetal. This is a true black. So the difference in those, and this is a 53 eye size as well. This is also the model number 10, color 1. Aluminum, very lightweight, very strong, hypoallergenic. You will never have an issue with these frames. Reacting with your skin, that is. So Bo wanted to support, with so many people buying glasses on the internet these days, but he wanted to protect American jobs. He mentioned that in the email. So I do thank you. A new way to buy internet glasses from an American, keeping the job, frame manufacturer jobs in America in his home state of Tennessee. The lenses are cut here in North Carolina. Howdy, neighbor. And let's see, I showed you that one already. But if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to my channel. You're going to see me making a lot more of these coming up. Of course, I got to make one for myself. If you have any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses.com. Just simply contact me, or at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Again, subscribe to my channel, or you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com, or on Twitter as freerxlenses. The other thing you can do is leave a comment in the comment section below. That way someone else can benefit from your knowledge or inquisitive nature. They may read your comment or question and not realize that, hey, that's a good point, I didn't think of that. So that's that. But Bo, again, in Knoxville, Tennessee, I cannot thank you enough for turning me on to this collection. My sales rep came by, great guy, very professional. I'm very happy with him. He's answered every question that I've had along the way. You know, he personally made sure to get this collection in here and keep me knowledgeable on it, get me some really nice displays that are coming, some information that I can tell to people to gain my knowledge on this product. And that's it. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.